Welcome back to Talking Shit, where we are talking all sorts of shit. Schitt's Creek, that is. Today, we are talking about Season 4, Episode 2, Love Letters. And of course...
Five?
Season 5, Episode 2, Love Letters. And of course, I'm joined by someone who took 2 Bosnian uppers just to keep awake for this podcast. Stuart!
Stuart's home safe and sound. I am so hot on this episode.
Yeah.
This is such a great one. I am so excited to talk about it today. This is bonkers in the best way. This is like, I feel like it wasn't Moira that was given a load of uppers. It was Karen O'Hara. And it was like, go to town and have fun and try and make everyone corpse. Because this was the funniest episode that I've watched in a long time.
There were so many things that she said that I was like, what did she just say? When she says, easier said than done, John, when your only husband is longing for his epistle writing inamorata. Like, ma'am, what? What's an inamorata? Are you kidding me? I need a freaking thesaurus or a dictionary over here.
Inamorata? I hardly know her. Like, what is she talking about?
Inamorata is a literary term meaning a woman someone is in love with or a female lover.
Okay, because Catherine O'Hara has used a was it like a book that was like really kind of obscure like words and to throw these in.
Yeah.
And it's like the best choice because whenever she comes up with these things, like she says it and you kind of get a vibe of like, I think I know what she's saying there, and I like
you get the gist of it. Yeah.
But like when you come to look it up and you realize it's the perfect word for exactly what she's describing.
Of
course.
And let's just point out that Moira Rose is saying epistle writing inamorata with like 4 days of no sleep. Like, how?
You know how people say like you only use 10% of your brain, and apparently that's a complete myth. But like, I feel like what portion of like brain use Moira does like use is that she has the bulk of it, which is taken up with this immense vocabulary, which explains her behavior, whereas everyone else uses that brain stuff to, be normal. I think. Yeah. I think that explains it, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But yeah, we're talking love letters. If you haven't already, if you're here, you might as well subscribe. We would love for you to do that. And you also probably should find us. No, you definitely should find us on YouTube and subscribe there as well, because we're inching closer and closer to 200 subscribers. We are nearly there. Yeah. So
down there somewhere is a subscribe button.
Somewhere in this area. So go do it.
What are you going to do? Harm you?
Yeah, it won't harm you. It'll just help us. No. And if you like to help us, that would be great. But Stuart, before we dive into this episode, let me do a quick little recap at the top in case people didn't watch it. They should, because it's incredible, but we'll remind you what happened here. Moira has returned from Bosnia, and in her sleep-deprived state, she discovers a stack of love letters addressed to Johnny. She thinks he's holding on to them from time before he met Moira and proceeds to tell the entire town. It turns out these letters were actually from Moira, and Johnny was reading them because he missed her, and it's so darn cute.
It is.
Meanwhile, Rose Apothecary gets robbed while David and Stevie are in the store. The man doesn't flash a gun, but I will say he does have his hand in his sweatshirt as if he is holding a weapon. He could be armed. We don't know. Stevie and David hand over a smattering of goods, but face pushback on the encounter but from Patrick, from the police, when they're not really sure if he actually was armed or not. And lastly, Ted and Alexis discussed keeping gifts from past partners. Ted thinks it's romantic to keep sentimental items from their relationships, but it's obvious that Alexis hasn't kept a single thing from her time with Ted. She gave a locket that Ted gave her to Twyla for Christmas and has to work to get it back from Twyla to make Ted think that she kept it. And thankfully, Ted and Alexis has agreed, let's just leave the past in the past. And that's our episode, Stuart.
Probably for the best that they leave that in the past. Like, no one wants to linger on old stuff, especially as they were had. Well, is this classified as a break? No, they fully broke up and were separate.
They were broken up for a while.
This doesn't count as a break. Yeah, so you kind of want to treat it almost like a fresh start, I guess. You don't want to past lingering.
Yeah, let's just talk about Ted and Alexis at the top, because I had very strong feelings while watching this episode. I know, shocking that I would feel strongly about something. As a person who isn't the most sentimental, I really hate it when it's usually in a sitcom, or I mean, I guess it could be on any TV show, but like there's one person who's very sentimental and the other person isn't, and the person that isn't sentimental often gets like shamed for not like holding on to things or like being extra thoughtful. And it's like, I'm sorry, but usually two sentimental people don't date each other. It's usually opposites attract. And I was very thankful that Ted didn't get on Alexis's case too much about this, because you were broken up. Why would she want reminders of you hanging around, especially when you're dating someone else, especially when it's not like you broke up for like a week. Like, you were broken up for a while. Like, it's not on her to be keeping things, and let's face it. Alexis is a little bit of a Rachel Green in that she'll sell or get rid of most of the gifts that she's given. So this isn't on Alexis, in my opinion.
Yeah, part of me wants to disagree just to have some spice for the pod, but I completely agree. Like, if you've broken up, especially like he was in a full-on relationship with Heather. So,
yes.
Like, getting rid of stuff is a logical thing to do. Like, there's, in Alexis's mind, the moment he gets into a like certain relationship, like, even if she was pining after him for the whole time, which she wasn't, but like, even if she was and was hanging on to it just in case, he had gone into like a big relationship, and so therefore that door had closed. So what's she to do? Hang on to it like a crazy person and just be like, oh,
how weird are you?
One day. No, yeah. It doesn't work.
Why would you be keeping a locket? Like, you're just gonna wear a locket with your ex-boyfriend's photo in it?
Nope.
Like, that's just no. Just no. Mm-hmm. And like I did love him being like, well, I hope it's okay, because I still have this waterproof watch that that Heather got me, and she's like, I'm not scared of that. Like, actually, it's ugly. It was perfect. So yeah, I'm definitely team Alexis. Now she traps herself a bit, right? Like, she's the one who's like, I definitely have things, but I do think there's the pressure from Ted to have kept things, if that makes sense.
Yes, I guess it was. I don't think it's necessarily pressure from Ted. I think it's the expectation of like, oh, he's going to be the sentimental one, and he's going to have done this, so I'm going to be the bad
because
one.
He is the sentimental one.
Exactly. So like, but Alexis really doesn't help herself by lying. Like, if Alexis had just come out and go, nah, babe, sorry.
Yeah.
That's it. But of course, awful premise for a sitcom. Like, you have to have like conflict. So you have to have her doing something really silly. I love the fact that when she did like finally get it the locket back, her way of showing it off, like leaning for the popcorn, like right.
Can you pass me some popcorn? Never mind, I got it. It's so funny. And she just leans extra hard across him.
And he gets the message, like, and he knows exactly what she's doing. Weird though. Like, did you get like the vibe of everything, that like the blanket and like the outfits and stuff like that? It was like everything seemed too clean and new, and it made me think of like, well, this would totally be like Ted's vibe. Like, that blanket looked like fresh out from like being ordered from something. It didn't look like lived in, which is like much of like Ted's flat, and the whole thing looked really kind of like clinical almost to me, and I was just like, this is really strange. They look like they're really kind of like posing here. That was really kind of odd. And it's like, Ted has never, I don't think, ever had popcorn on the sofa ever in his life. Like, I think it's just too, like, he's too clean for that.
Yeah, he has like the individual baggies of like Skinny Pop or something. Yeah, he's not a full popcorn bag guy. I did love that Alexis is like, oh, right, the locket. And so she remembers that it was Twyla, that Twyla got her something for Christmas and she didn't have anything for Twyla. So she gives her the locket, which cracks me up because it sounds like Alexis didn't even realize there was a photo of her and Ted in there, which makes it even funnier to imagine Twyla opening said locket to find a photo of Ted and Alexis in it.
Do you think that photo exists somewhere in like Twyla's home? Like,
yes.
Twyla doesn't seem like the kind that would throw that away.
She would keep it.
I've got a feeling it'd be like stuck on a mirror somewhere. Like, because
I was gonna say it's like a fridge magnet now.
Yeah, like that kind of like vibe. Because it doesn't seem like the kind of thing. But yeah, I love the fact that Twyla like gave it back and didn't explain. Or didn't actually take the photo back herself. No. It means that both Alexis and Twyla forgot, which is hilarious in both kinds of scenarios.
Yeah.
So silly.
And the fact that Alexis ended up having to pay, she really had to pay because she loses a lot of her jewelry that she actually likes in exchange for some dog tags and a whistle. Unfortunate
I think
for her.
Somewhat fair for the shade that she threw to Twyla at like the beginning of just like, I love your like approach to jewelry of just picking a few items and just wearing them all the time. It's like, Alexis, come on. You know so much better than this, girl. Stop being so horrible.
It's perfect. So yeah, the fact that Ted is like very much like, you know what? We're fine. Let's move past it. Like, the past is in the past. We don't have to worry about it. I appreciated that because of course, I'm always reminded of Friends. Like, there's an episode of Friends where Ross is the romantic one, and he accuses Rachel of like never keeping anything that anyone gives her as a gift. She always either sells it, returns it for store credit, whatever. And he shames her for this. And I always have hated that because it's unfair. It really is. Like, just because you're sentimental doesn't mean your partner has to be. And so the fact that Ted was like, we don't need to go there. Like, we can just move on. I was like, thank God, Ted, because I didn't want to give you a disgruntled pelican point, but I will. But he's fine. He's safe. Don't worry. Spoilers. He's safe. Don't worry about it.
Don't write in.
Where do you want to go next, Stuart? Do you want to talk about the robbery or the love letters?
I feel like we have to talk the robbery first because everything else is just too unhinged, and I kind of do want to end on a bit of a high. Because the robbery, I think, is just so freaking absurd, and I kind of think that perhaps we might get into a disagreement here as to who is in the wrong.
Ooh, this is interesting. This is so interesting because I have very strong feelings about this.
Okay, what's your take on it then?
Well, why don't you go first? Why am I going first?
Because I asked the question, Jess.
My feeling is that they were robbed because there was a threat of violence against them. There could have been a gun in that man's sweatshirt. He had his hand. I'm not going to do it, but he had his hand like, here, I'll do it anyway. He had his hand in the sweatshirt, making it look like he's holding a gun. You don't have to see the gun for there to be a threat of violence. The moment he comes into that store with a mask on, and I'm not talking a COVID mask, I'm talking a ski-ass mask, okay? Covering his whole entire face. The moment he walks in there with a mask on his face and his hand in his sweatshirt like he has a weapon and says, give me all your money, you are being robbed. If there's a threat of violence, you're being robbed. It doesn't matter if you saw the gun. It doesn't matter if there even was a gun. It's the threat of violence that matters. And I was frankly very annoyed with both Patrick and the police officer for being like, oh, you just gave this man our stuff. It's like, why don't you get held up at possibly gunpoint and see how you feel? That's where I stand.
Wow. 2 for 2 in agreements today, Jess. This is going to be a really boring pod. Yeah, Patrick's totally in the wrong, right? Like, come on. Like, I get it. They upsold. That was foolish and stuff like that. But I mean, how are you going to have wine and cheese and not a good tapenade? Like, even though he's rubbing, like, there are standards here to uphold.
The whole point is you're trying to get this guy out of your store. So, like, you're like, what do you need? What do you want? Here, go.
Yeah, and also, like, shouldn't you just be happy that kind of maybe those sales instincts of, like, upselling and stuff are just so ingrained in David and even Stevie that it's going to happen. So, like, even in a robbery situation, they're always thinking about, like, upselling and everything like that. It's a
Yeah.
good thing. But to dog on David for, like, because I think, like, at the beginning, of course, like that, there's the threat of a gun. Like, whether it's real or not, you don't want to take that risk
No, you're
at
not going to be
all.
like, show me the gun. Like, you're not
Yeah.
going to say that because what if they show you the gun? I don't want to see the gun. I don't want a gun in my face. The
It's
only
like, is there a gun there? Bam! Yeah, there is.
Yes, you're
Like,
dead.
no.
And now you're dead. Congratulations. No, the only time where if I'm Stevie or David, I'm feeling a little bit, I don't know if emboldened is the word, but like a little bit questioning is when they hand him the tote bags and he has 2 free hands. Cause like theoretically, if you have a gun and you're hiding it in your sweatshirt, like where is it going? Do you have an inner pocket? Like probably not in that sort of a hoodie. So like, but again, it's a very high stress, tense situation. So they're really probably not, they're probably just thinking, get this man out of our store. I would rather lose a couple $100 in goods if we're like rounding up than my life. So there you go.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth it, like, at all. Like, unless you are paid to be security, like, this is not your job. Like, you shouldn't expect to be robbed. This is what insurance is for. This is what the police are supposedly for.
Exactly.
Like, do that. Don't come here and do, like, a post-robbery interview, like, to find out information and then be really judgmental towards the victim of a crime. Yeah. Get out of here with that. And
yeah,
Patrick, get out of here with the shaming, buddy. That's not cool at all.
You weren't there,
The
Patrick.
love
You
of
weren't
your
there.
life was threatened, and for a moment thought that they were in desperate trouble. You should be much nicer about this.
And I feel like David had a decent description of this man. Like he was wearing a mask, so we can't see his face. Like we know he was white, presumably, because you could see like around his eyes. And we know he was wearing an aubergine poly blend sweatshirt. Like what more do you want from him?
That's incredibly descriptive. Like they're gonna go, oh, is this purple? No, it wasn't. It was this precise like color. No. Like, how can you not be more happy with David? Okay, maybe you could say like when the bags were received and like it was revealed, obviously there was no gun. But I kind of put this down to, and I think I'm gonna win you over as well with this. It's like close-up magic. It's misdirection. I think you're so overwhelmed with like everything being up close and like being kind of like you're too distracted by everything. You're not going to notice that. They immediately notice it afterwards and they come to realize and process. But by that point, you have to kind of explain that away because pride gets in the way.
Well, and also like okay, let's pretend they notice it in the moment. They're handing him the bags, right? He has both hands open. What happens if you're like, you don't actually have a gun. Give me those bags back. This man could like punch you, swing a bag and hit you in the face. Like there's wine in there. Like it's heavy. Like you could still be assaulted or injured and like, let's be real. Stevie has a better chance at physically taking on this man than David does. Like David is not a fighter. Okay,
I think that's totally true. Although I love the fact that Stevie's instinctive reaction was just be like, "Oh yeah, I'll go check out the back." Like immediately just tries to get out there. Like not even stepping in beside David, even in front of David to protect. Just get the F out of there immediately.
Yeah,
which is kind of my vibe as well. Like I'm sorry if anyone I know I love dearly is being held by gunpoint. Bye.
I would make a very, very funny White Lotus reference, but you wouldn't get it because you haven't seen the White Lotus. Just know, friends, there's a moment in season 3 of White Lotus that I'm thinking of that Stuart would be this character, but you just don't know what character it is.
Something tsunami, like
tsunami.
That's all I know.
Buddhism. No, we're on the same page wholeheartedly. Like I was so annoyed. I mean, I'm always annoyed at the cops, but like I was especially annoyed at this cop. Like he's like he like looks like he's just like scribbling everything out, and he's like he's not even gonna file this. He's gonna go back, go get a donut, and then go sit at his desk and do nothing. Like he's not even gonna file this report, even though he should. Because what kind of rando is going through a small town and robbing an apothecary, like robbing a small business? Man, go to Walmart, okay? Because you don't even need a gun. You could just walk in and put stuff in your pockets and walk out. Like don't rob small businesses.
Yeah, that's if you're gonna rob anyone, rob a big business.
Exactly.
Like, because they're not going to notice. They don't care. Like, They're not even probably like try and track you down. They'll be like, oh, we'll just knock it up to like last quarter's profits. We'll take a hit. Oh no, they'll barely even notice. Yeah, small businesses, they're going to notice. That tapenade was probably very expensive. That brie was very expensive.
I love David getting irritated with the robber too. And he's like, oh, do you want some cheese? And he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, God forbid he specify which one.
Exactly.
David can't even hold back even when he's being robbed.
Was it like offering like red or white and then like chilled rosés in the back? We'll go get that. And then Stevie offered that. And then it was like, no, I'm not going to let you get out of my sight.
Yeah.
I love the fact that, I don't know, like even though they're being robbed, there are still standards. Like you're still going to want some good stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think Stevie also offering the he was like, oh, you got bad skin.
Yeah, I can't tell because you're wearing a mask. Also, can I admit something? I had to Google what a tamponade is because I truly didn't.
Do you know now?
It looks like a dip. Is it just dip?
I think, isn't it like a chopped thing? I'm saying this really kind of like, oh, you don't know.
It's very fancy sounding. Oh, French olive spread. Okay, so there's olives.
That's the one. Yeah, so it's like all chopped up and stuff.
Oh, it's a lot of different types of olives. Capers.
Salty.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, I'd eat this. It just feels like something that would be on a very fancy charcuterie board.
Yes. Good charcutes. Yeah.
Oh, love charcutes. But I'm a basic bee when it comes to I do like a charcutes at home, and it's very simple.
When you say like basic bee, like how basic are we talking? Like, do you have Dairy Lee?
Do I have what?
Dairy Lee's a really, really bad kids like soft cheese that you get in like these little triangles that are like in tinfoil and you unwrap them.
Oh,
awful.
No. Oh,
but we
have like something with a cat. Laughing Cow is very similar.
Oh yeah, we've got Laughing Cow as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
not
that's about the worst thing I think in terms of like cheeses that I guess you could like offer that would be charcutes coded, I guess.
I'm not a huge soft cheese girly. So usually what we'll do, I know it's one of my big flaws.
What about moldy cheeses? The blue cheeses?
I don't like blue cheese.
Jessica, Stilton's the best cheese in the world.
I don't like it. What we'll do is I'll get some. Do you have like brick cheese? Do you know what I mean when I say brick cheese?
What, like a brick of cheese?
A brick of cheese. Like it's like it comes in like a shape like a brick.
Yeah, that's all cheese.
Yeah, it's not soft cheese. It's just like okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I get usually like a Munster and a cheddar, like a sharp cheddar, and cut those up. I prefer, and everyone needs to calm down before I even say the brand of the thing I'm going to say because I know I'm going to annoy people or they're going to be annoyed with me. I love a wheat thin. I love a tomato, sun-dried tomato and basil, I think is the one. Wheat thin. I know some people taste like cardboard. They don't taste like cardboard. They taste delicious. And I don't want your Triscuits. Triscuits are for old people, okay? I'm not old yet.
But even if it does taste like cardboard, that's the point of like the charcutes. You load up on cheese and everything else. Like cheese, jams, figgy things.
Yes.
Like little cornichons. Oh, yes. Oh,
little what? Cornichon.
Like the little pickly things. Yeah. Little pickles. Yeah.
Cornichon. Oh, here we go. I didn't know how to spell it. I was gherkins. Yeah, gherkins.
Yeah, like little pickly gherkins.
Yeah. So we do gherkins, we do olives, gotta have a jam, any sort of jam will do. And then usually some prosciutto and like some sort of a salami or something like, your meatses.
I really want some charcutes now.
So
when you
good.
said you like basic charcutes, I was expecting like the worst. I was thinking you were basically going to explain like a
American
Lunchable.
Cheese.
I was like,
no, because we don't really do like nuts or like, you know what I mean? Like we don't have like brie. We don't do like the fanciest of cheeses, but like even like your basic charcutes makes you feel so fancy.
Oh yeah.
And it's an easy dinner, so we do it for dinner.
I need to be mega, mega rich to get like those people that come over to like your party and do like it's like 20,000 for like a whole table of charcutes, and they like lay it out so like
they lay it out on a person.
Like yeah, it's so overpriced. But if I was like bougie rich, I'd be like, yeah, that'd be like.
If I had money, Yeah, why not?
I'm
Throw a
like,
big
what
charcuterie
the rest of
party.
you having for dinner? I'm having this table. Thank you.
There's
This
nothing
is all
better than
mine.
a good charcuterie board.
Mhm.
I don't know how we got here. Oh, the tamponon. So yeah. So this guy gets away with, like, you know, again, how much realistically could be in 2 tote bags? You know what I mean? Like,
Not
even
that
if it's
much.
overpriced, which it probably is, like $200 maximum, I would say.
Yeah.
Which is, I
Like,
mean, they're small business and everything, but again, that's why you have insurance, baby.
yeah, mid 3 figures tops, but that's why you have insurance, exactly. And
Yeah.
like, surely, like, I don't know if they have CCTV. Like, it'd be a dumb thing if they didn't. But
Yeah.
like,
Even if they
surely
did, they
there's
can't tell
like
what this guy looks like. You know, he's wearing a
they've done a
mask.
police report. Like, they don't have to catch the
Yeah.
person to get the insurance on it and
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
Come on now. So that's what's going on with David, Patrick, and Stevie. Also, I did love shout out to Stevie for the line of, "What do you have? Wallet full of debt." Is just everything. It's just perfect.
Relatable.
Like, if it's me, I'm like, bro, it's 2025. I don't carry cash. Like, are you kidding? I have a credit card. That's what I have for you.
I went to a restaurant that recently that was like cash only and
What?
had to withdraw. I know,
In this
tax
year?
tax avoidance, I'm sure. But the way in which they were like, I went and withdrew the money, and then Sarah was like holding money. I went, I think this is the first like physical note I've held in a good 3 years. Because like,
Yeah.
who uses cash?
The
Seriously,
only time
get
I've
rid of
used
it.
cash is like if you're tipping like a delivery driver, and I mean like not like a food delivery, like you're getting furniture or something delivered,
Mhm.
you know, that sort of thing. But like, I don't know.
Nothing
I
makes me
just
more patriotic than hearing about your culture of tipping. Just don't tip. It's wonderful.
don't get
So
me
freeing.
started. It's so
So
annoying
freeing.
because I am a person who never has cash on me, and then I feel the worst amount of guilt if I don't.
Mhm.
Anyway, okay, let's get to the meat. Forget about the chakoots. Let's get to the meat. Moira is back from Bosnia, and I love her entrance. I love her, Johnny being like, "It's 3 a.m. It's like, cats."
Yeah. What are you still doing up? This is one of the best cold opens that they've like done for the whole thing. Like, oftentimes I think we tend to skip over the opening scenes because we get rolled up into like the A, B, C plots of everything.
Yeah.
But this one flowing through made so much sense. Like, obviously it's very much linked up, but it's such a like a powerhouse of an opening scene as well. Like, immediately Catherine Arrow like grabs you and is like shaking you by the shoulders and going, "You are going to enjoy this episode." Like, it's phenomenal. I It's the absolute vibe of like that reckless friend or housemate that comes home drunk and you're just like,
Oh,
oh god, I've now
yes.
got to deal with this. I think everyone knows someone like that, and you're just like, oh gosh, I just need them to sleep. Until they sleep, I'm not going to get rest. And until then, it's just a whirlwind of just chaos, and they're going to try and wake everyone up. They're going to try and do all the things, and of course, Moira is the best person to exhibit this. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, nothing is worse than being the sober person around a bunch of like non-sober people, right? It's just like, it's like, you're not funny. Like, you think you're funny, but you're not, and I'm tired. Like, it's not a good time. And Moira just running in and waking David and Alexis up. I don't want to disturb you. I just want to let you know that Mummy got home safe and sound. And then she's like, okay, if you insist, one quick story. It's like, no. It's so funny, especially when Johnny tries to take her back into the bedroom and she's like, "Ooh, frisky John." And Alexis, ew.
Ew. Just so wrong. Like, again, it's the other thing of like being drunk and like just picking up on the things that everyone else is saying. Like, that wasn't implied, but of course she's thinking it because it's like how her kind of like addled mind on these Bosnian uppers is working.
It's perfect. It took her like 3 days to get home. She's been awake the entire time. She took who knows how many Bosnian uppers. And instead of sleeping that night, she quote unquote powers right through. And by powering right through, I mean, she decided to go through all of these love letters that Johnny had and starts freaking out because she thinks that they're from someone else. And for some reason, again, in her sleep deprived state, she thinks it's wise to have Alexis read them. And like, why are you doing this to her? Like, I love, one of my favorite lines of this whole episode is Alexis being like, and just to remind you, I don't have a therapist anymore.
I think it's a fair thing to have to explain to Moira because what she's reading is horrendous. Like, dearest John, I'm lying here stuck, sweaty. That enough? Nope.
I would stop reading. Yeah.
No. All I can think about is you and the last night we spent together. Bed shaking. And that's where Alexis is, why are you making me read this?
Like, I know it's not the case because I was literally born, but like, parents don't have sex, okay? Like, we just need to live in a world where our parents don't have sex. That's it. That's where we need to live. And so getting literal physical evidence that is not the case and being forced to read it, especially right in the morning, that's just a bad start to your day. It's a real bad start to your day.
Why do we have to ruin things with facts? Couldn't we not like have all just been brought here by storks and those kind of like old myths that they tell kids when they're little, when they're too young to understand these things?
Yes.
Can we just keep that pretense up?
Yeah.
I don't need to acknowledge that truth. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So she also says he has a predilection for boom boom girls. Yet another thing, Stuart, that I had to Google, something that Moira said. Now, do you want to know what a boom boom girl is?
Did you do it in like private browsing mode? Like, did you risk that as an open Google search?
No, I just open Googled it. I like to live life dangerously.
It sounds a bit wild.
Yeah, I just kind of figured if it was on Schitt's Creek, someone else has probably already Googled this before, and so it's probably safe to search it. And of course, there is a Reddit thread about it because people are like, what the hell is a boom boom girl? And apparently it is, do you want to guess what it is first? Do you have any guesses?
Like a stripper or something?
Close, yeah. So boom boom girls is the American slang word for Vietnamese sex workers during the war in Vietnam.
Oh.
So
that maybe that is something that's in the back of my mind from like Apocalypse Now or something.
Yeah. Never seen it, so I couldn't tell you. Yeah. But yeah, so she's like on one. Moira is turned up. She's upset. And she just keeps reading these. And then she shows up at Jocelyn's house unannounced. Just doesn't even ring the doorbell, just walks on in.
She has been knocking for so long. How dare you?
And she just walks in. And this is where I had to stop. I just had to stop, Stuart, because, okay, let's go back to a few episodes ago, right? Mm-hmm. Singles week. I'm going to like reset our timeline here because things are about to get hanky. We were at Singles Week, April 2017. Mm-hmm. Then, and that was the finale of season 4. Then we're in the special, which, as you remember, was a Christmas special. So we leapt. We drove 6 months into the future for the Christmas episode. So keep in mind, Alexis and Ted, 6 months of dating at this point, if they get together in Singles Week.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy. Now, when we see the scene with Moira and Jocelyn is like, oh yeah, I've been taking care of a baby for 8 months. 8 months? So now we're 2 months from Christmas because you know what I mean? So we're in
February 2018.
Yes.
What?
Because her baby's 8 months old.
So, okay. Going back one episode then to forgiving a lot of the behavior of Ted and Alexis, take all of that back because they should absolutely not be in honeymoon mode anymore.
Exactly.
It's been 8 months.
Exactly. And this is why I was like astonished because I'm like, all of these conversations Ted and Alexis have been having feel like conversations you have a few weeks into like getting back together, not 8 months into getting back together. Maybe they felt like I mean, the way you have to do this to make it work is in order to have a Christmas episode, you have to jump forward a ton in time because that's where the biggest leap is 6 months between Singles Week and the Christmas episode, the Christmas special.
But even without the Christmas, like that just frames it in terms of like where it sits in a year, right? Like it's still 8 months.
Yeah.
So we've had like a significant time jump. So like, either way, Dan Levy, what the heck is going on, buddy?
It's just wild because then you think about like, well, it makes sense because if Moira's returning from Bosnia, like how long are they shooting in Bosnia? I don't know how long movies take to film. Crikey. I know every movie's a little different, but like, you know, you'd assume it would take a little while to film in Bosnia. So
didn't Johnny say last week it's like how many weeks had it been? Or like 10 days, 14 days or something like that?
I had assumed it had been like a month that she was there, but like that could be wrong.
I think probably in time because he was already kind of beginning to lose it before he'd even turned to the letters.
Exactly.
It'd been 8 days out when he said to Stevie last week.
Yeah.
And that's when he was like doing everything around the like motel and stuff. So yeah, like could have been like a month.
I was just baffled. Like I was like, whoa, I never really put 2 and 2 together before of like, I didn't take stock in like, okay, when is Singles Week in the year? And then of course we have a Christmas special. So we're really zooming forward in time. And Jocelyn and Roland's baby is 8 months old now. Like this is crazy. So anyway, I had to bring that up because my mind was just blown there.
Yeah. I love that we're kind of talking about this as if there is an official timeline and that like in the writer's room they had almost like can't really put that there because of this timing. Like it's a sitcom. Everything's gonna be a bit loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
Because they never anticipated that people would be as crazy as we are podcasting about it as long as we are and really dissecting it to this level, right?
Well, the best part is that I also consulted that spreadsheet that we were sent, or I found on Reddit, or I don't remember how I came across this, but and yeah, they have it in here as well. That it's like, yeah, it goes from April 2017 to December 2017, and then we're in January of 2018 in the premiere, and now we're in February. So like, and we started in March of 2015. So we're now nearly 3 years into them being in Schitt's Creek.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Wait, so that means then, so like Ted and Alexis have like big history. Patrick and David have been together for like quite a while then.
Well, then let me look. They got together. Was it General Store?
They'd already opened a general store at that point. They were like the numbers had started dipping after like the honeymoon of opening the store had worn off as well, which means that's probably been like a good few months as well. So they've probably been together like at least maybe a year now at this point.
So okay, so if General Store was when they got together, is that correct? No, because there was the whole Sebastian Rain thing.
Ugh.
When the heck did they get together? I don't know. Let's say friends and family, maybe. We're looking at it was June of 2016. So they've been together. They'll be together. They're already over a year.
That's kind of wild.
Almost a year and a half. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's freaking like 8 months. It's crazy. Well, 6 months really. But yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was like, whoa, the implications. Yeah. And again, like you said, the writers aren't exactly being like, this isn't, they're not writing this all out like this. But
it's kind of vibes though. Like if they kind of like are plucking these dates, like even out of the air and stuff, it's still like a vibe of like, well, a chunk of time has passed. And so therefore like it, especially like the 8 months and stuff, it's like, it's to kind of expedite, obviously, to get Jocelyn back into it, because like Jocelyn's not going to be like kind of wandering around like kind of with a baby after like having given birth like within the last month or so. Like it takes a while for like everything to begin to settle in back to the way it has been and stuff. So yeah, but I'm always excited when I find out that it's been longer timeline wise than what we expect, because then my kind of concerns are just like, didn't they get together like last week? Why are they having such profound conversations at this like earlier?
Yeah,
it kind of takes that away from me.
So I looked it up. They got together in the season 3 finale, Patrick and David did. And that was July of 2016, because that was grad night. So that would mean where we are in February of 18, they're like 5 months away from hitting a 2-year anniversary. So they're a year and a half into their relationship, basically.
Wow.
Yeah. But yeah, now Jocelyn has an 8-month-old. And
still building them up.
This baby, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Love this baby. And Moira's talking to her, and Jocelyn says, yeah, I found a bag of bras that Roland was hanging on to, and I burned them. And it's like, except for the ones that were her size. I don't understand. I wish I could. Why are you keeping bras of your ex-girlfriends? Because Roland talks to Johnny about this. He's like, oh yeah, sometimes you want to take a trip down memory lane. What are you doing with these bras, you sicko?
I don't think you want the answer to that.
I really don't. I really don't. What's wrong with him?
This is another example of Roland being just horrendous. For one thing, it's kind of sinister when you think about what we do know about him and Jocelyn, is that they got together very young. And so if they're from ex-girlfriends, they're like teenagers' bras and stuff. Why is he keeping that? That is really creepy and wrong. I don't think they thought that through logically when writing. Like, it's meant to be just a throwaway funny line. But Roland, like, even if it is a throwaway silly line, it's still horrendous.
Yeah, like, and Jocelyn burns them. He's like, oh, do you know what burnt underwire smells like? You shouldn't have even had those, you sicko. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. Because, like, okay, if we're comparing this to the Ted and Alexis thing, I could understand if, like, you have an ex or something that gave you something that you actually really enjoy, you like a necklace, a whatever, a gift. I don't understand the purpose of keeping grody ass bras from women you slept with. This doesn't make any sense to me. It feels like serial killer territory. It feels like trophies from bodies that you've dumped somewhere. Like, it's so messed up. And it's like, why are we doing this? Like, because
maybe it's foreshadowing. Maybe you're trying to throw me off the scent. Maybe the whole show ends with Roland being a serial killer for, like, all of his ex-lovers. And that Jocelyn is just like a cover story for all of this.
It's just annoying because, Stuart, like you said, I think the biggest redeeming quality that Roland has going for him is Jocelyn and his relationship with her and how much he loves her. And like, I'm not saying he doesn't love her, but like, this is gross behavior. This is disgusting and unacceptable. And if I'm Jocelyn, I'm doing more than just burning the bras, you know? It ain't flying with me. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I don't know why she acts as if it's like fairly not like, she doesn't seem repulsed or like she's angered by it, but like she's not like, this is abnormal behavior. Like, she almost talks about it as if it's like, oh, that Roland.
In there. Yeah.
Yeah, like, no.
So nonchalant about it. But one of my favorite things is like all the hearsay that happens as a result of Moira parading these letters around town. So I love Roland coming to talk to Johnny, and he's like, oh yeah, I was talking to Bob about it. And Johnny's like, why were you talking to Bob? He's like, we're trying to save your marriage. Gwen thinks it's a lost cause.
Gwen's such a shady cow.
I love it. I love anytime we hear anything that is secondhand that Gwen has said, it always makes me wish we saw more Gwen, you know?
Oh yeah, totally. I kind of wish that Gwen was actually around, like, on camera more. Just
missed opportunity.
Just so shady.
Yeah.
But then Bob is there. Bob is a great vessel for it as well. And I kind of feel like sometimes maybe Bob's embellishing it a little bit, but I don't think he is. I think he is just kind of just passing along because he doesn't really have much of a filter, I guess. Oh, gosh.
Yeah. But I do love the way Johnny handles this, because He doesn't say to Roland, Moira wrote those. He like goes to Moira first, sees that she's still completely unhinged and hasn't slept, and is like, Moira, you've got to sleep. Like, you've got to get some rest. And then he realizes that because he's thinking she's just doing this because she's in some weird sleep deprived haze. But no, she thinks that it's another woman. And he's like, this is so canonically, it's such canonically intelligent writing, because we know that Moira did like a lot of drugs and alcohol when she was on Sunrise Bay. And so it makes sense that she wouldn't necessarily remember writing all of these letters. Plus, we also set up in the baby sprinkle that they used to play like, let's pop pills into mommy's mouth.
And
you know?
she even says like she asked for actual painkillers while she was doing it so she could like get more in character. Like any excuse back then, right? It's absurd how well this works, and the fact that she was in a full body cast was the funniest mental image as well. Just like, I'm not sure if like someone's handed her a pen and just held up a pad and she's just been there like writing at a distance. So stupid.
Stuart, the fact that she was in a full body cast twice on Sunrise Bay, one for a spelunking incident and one for when she got thrown upwards through a skylight. How?
It happens. Soaps are wild.
It's so funny. And of course, she has actual painkillers to ease her into her character's plight. It's just so perfect. And I love Johnny being like, no, this was you. Like, you wrote these. And the reason I had them, because Moira's mostly upset, and this is completely understandable. From Moira's point of view, he saved these when they had 10 minutes to grab everything they could in their house. Like, that's messed up if they're not from her. So, like, from her perspective and what she thinks the truth to be, it is really, really upsetting. Because it's not like he just kept them and forgot about them. No, he purposely packed them up and brought them with them out of their house.
And was reading them recently. Like, they didn't, she didn't just, like, really kind of dig through loads of stuff. They were, like, fairly out and there to find. So even more of a betrayal if it was as bad as she thought it was.
Exactly. And so he explains, he's like, no, like, I was missing you. And so I was reading them because it made me feel like you were still here with me. And it is so supremely sweet. Like, we talk a lot about, you know, we never get the feeling like Johnny and Moira are not a couple that like argue a lot. They're not a couple that we ever feel like are in jeopardy of breaking up. And I love that about this show, because it's truly like they love each other. Like, the reason Moira is so upset is because she feels betrayed, because she loves her husband and is like, who is this funny woman that's writing you these letters? Like, she doesn't like it. And it's so supremely sweet that Johnny is like, no, these were from you and I missed you. And the fact that Moira's like, well, sorry, we're just going to have to stick with what I said in the first place because I don't want anyone knowing I wrote these.
But it would give him an edge.
No one will accuse you of being vanilla again.
Gwen.
Like, Gwen. You know it was Gwen who called him vanilla. You know it was.
That's been overheard in the town council kind of like chats that they've been having.
It's so perfect. I love it so much. And I love that Moira finally gets her rest that she needs while at the diner. And they're like, just let her sleep. And she like squawks.
When she squawks, and it's just like, caca! So stupid. I think as well,
eyelids.
Like, also, like when she's there, she's like got her like eyes open, like she's sleeping, and she's like mildly speaking Bosnian as well. The improv Bosnian, like, there's no way that's real and stuff, but like even the singing was just so well done as well. I can't gush more about this performance. It's just so comedically so funny. Like, I think as well, like, the setup is funny as on its own, but like every delivery of those stupid and big moments is just perfect. I don't think I've laughed as much as what I have like watching this episode. Like any other episode, there have been some moments where I've like proper laughed out loud. This one had me rolling around. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah. It's so funny because it's it's so perfect in that it makes sense that Moira would think that these were, especially because she's not in her right mind now. She wasn't in her right mind when she wrote them. So why would she remember that? And of course, like if she's writing in a full body cast, like she's writing with her left hand, it's all scribbly. She can't even read it. Like, of course she's not going to think it's her. And of course she's going to be Moira and go tell everyone in town. Like it's so perfect. The setup is incredible. Obviously, Catherine O'Hara's performance is just 10 out of 10 always. And like, I do want to give a shout out to Eugene Levy because we've often said like he's often the straight man in most of these scenes. He does such a wonderful job at like just being this ever supportive husband. Like even when Moira wakes him up at 3 a.m. and shames him for not having like a party for her, like he's so chill. Like he's like, come on, let's get some rest. We can unpack tomorrow. Like he's so sweet and supportive. And I love that about him.
Yeah, he plays like sweet and like doting and loyal like so well, and he does it so endearingly. I think that's the kind of thing. It's one thing to like play it, but like he seems to like do it where it just feels so natural, and probably because I think there is a lot of those feelings towards Catherine O'Hara as well because of like the long-term like kind of friendship and working relationship. Like of course you're gonna like kind of perhaps look with doleful eyes towards her occasionally because you're like, oh god, she's so brilliant, I love her so much. And like the same is returned. Their relationship is phenomenal, and yeah, the fact that it's never in jeopardy really, like when this whole scenario is brought up, you're like, okay, let's wait for the resolution that's going to come about because of course it's a big misunderstanding. So
yeah, I was going to say, did you
for like how this is going to go down that route?
Did you suspect that they were like written by Moira, or like what were you thinking during the episode?
I was thinking it was Moira, and she just wasn't like remembering. I thought maybe she had written them whilst like I don't know why. I thought that maybe she had written them on the plane and she had found them and Johnny hadn't even read them.
That's so funny.
But yeah, eventually, yeah, it worked out just like I think better.
Yeah, it's perfect. So that's our episode. Let's get into some feedback. Jared is like you, Stuart. He said, I think this might be the funniest episode in the show up to this point. At least it's the episode that's made me laugh the most on the rewatch.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
can't disagree with that at all. I think like we often talk about the Venn diagram of like story, emotion, and funny. This is like the biggest circle for funny, but it also still has some good other ones of overlap. Like I feel like this really does hit on a lot of them.
Yeah. Also, we got some feedback from my husband, Will, while we were recording that says, is it really Ted's fault if Alexis leads with a lie saying that she did keep things when she didn't?
Yes.
I mean, I think she had an easy out when he's like, your face is like saying something else. I think that's the moment to be like, okay, fine, I didn't keep anything. But she's in too deep. She's in too deep at this point.
Yeah. And just also it's sometimes you really got to save face. You can't be the one to be wrong in this scenario.
Exactly. You can't ever be wrong.
Relationships are just competition, right?
It's just one big competition about who's right. Oh my gosh. Okay, well let's get into some ratings here. Let's do our Simply the Best. I feel like this is in one respect it feels like a runaway. In another respect, I think we were in line. We were in lockstep earlier, Stuart. I think this is where we're gonna diverge our paths here.
Really?
I do.
Really?
I do think so.
Okay.
I'll go first because I'm not afraid, and I'm not going to play the game of if you give this one a point, I'll give the other one. No, I'm going to just go first. And I'm going to say, I'm giving Johnny my Simply the Best point. And here is the reason why. Because when he finds out his wife is sharing their love letters all throughout town, he goes to the source. He goes to Moira. And instead of being like, what the hell is wrong with you? He's like, oh my gosh, my wife hasn't slept in 4 days. Like, honey, you need to sleep. And then he's so kind about it when like he does find out that she thinks it's not her letters. And I'm sorry, I'm not even a sentimental person, but my heart was just grew 3 sizes when he said that he missed her. And so he was reading their little cute little love letters. And also the fact that when they did only have like 10 minutes to grab some personal items from their house, that he did grab these letters. Like, even going back to that, I think is just so sweet. And as much as I love Catherine O'Hara's performance this episode as Moira, I feel like the character stuff I like the most is Johnny. So Johnny is going to get my simply the best point.
Interesting. Yeah, we agree again, Johnny.
No, I thought you for sure were going to give it to Moira.
No, I mean, like, it's a comedy tour de force, and I think that for that, like, I almost want to say, can we also give her like an honorary point, because it is so good. But Johnny, hands down, is the MVP of the episode. He has an absolute. He doesn't. There are some moments where he has some Johnnyisms, like, and you're like, oh, you could help yourself out here a bit, buddy. But he is so endearingly sweet in this whole scenario. He handles Moira so well, and it wouldn't work. Like, Moira's whole shtick wouldn't work if there wasn't Johnny. So I don't feel that she can shine unless you have Johnny there as the support. And so
if one of us shines, we all shine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think we have to give him his flowers when he's due them, especially because I certainly have deducted points when he's like earned it. So
yeah,
I feel like I should give him his flowers when he's earned them as well.
So happy for Johnny. I'm sure Will be absolutely thrilled that Johnny got 2 points today. As for the disgruntled pelican, it's not even a contest. Truly, it's not. Because, like, when I was watching the episode, I was like, oh, Ted, are you about to shame Alexis for not being sentimental? And then he quickly turned it around and was like, very sweet and cute. Roland with the bras, just like, no. Just all the way no. Just like, you're a monster and you're disgusting. And so I wish I could give you more than one disgruntled pelican point, Roland. But
wow,
I'm giving it to Roland because it's disgusting and gross and upsetting.
Okay. Prepare to write in, everyone. I'm giving it to Patrick.
No, you
I
did not.
I did.
Wasn't he wearing a blue shirt this episode? Isn't this illegal?
Don't care. Blue shirt. Why? Because he's pretending to be the police as well. Like, get out of here. Like, I'm sorry. He ACAB. Like, he took the side of them. And also, like, shamed. I get David was a bit of a fool and, like, should have maybe turned it around. But as we've described, like, you don't want to risk those situations. And yeah, like, I felt like Patrick was really judgy and could have been a lot nicer in this, and it was a little bit out of character.
Yeah, I guess, but I'm just picturing Roland like sniffing old teen bras and like
that doesn't surprise me though. That doesn't surprise me. I come to expect it. It's really sad, but it's like
it's gross.
If you were to say that Roland had one of like those ex-lovers chained up in the basement, I'd be like, oh, yeah. I mean, the show's taken a bit of a dark turn, but like, yeah, I kind of don't. I'm not surprised.
Oh my god! Just picturing someone chained up in their basement that's filled with tchotchke.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
All right. Well, those are our rankings. And luckily, Moira gave us so many things this episode, including a wig, which I have two angles of because it's just so wild.
I feel like you need multiple angles because what the heck is going on with it? Like, it's so one-sided.
It's asymmetrical. And there's like, I think there's like, I can't tell if this is her earring or a braid. I think it might just be her earring. But like, what is happening on her head?
It's a real mess. It's like,
is it supposed to look feathered, like a bird, maybe?
Yeah, it's like, it's almost like those kind of like old emo cuts, but like it's too feathered, which makes me think that it's meant to, I don't know whether it's like, is that actually a wig or is that a fascinator that just happens to match really well? It's
giving, tonight will be the night that I will fall for you over again. That's what it's giving.
God.
But it works. And this is also, of course, the scene where she falls asleep at the cafe. So it's perfect. You know, what more is there to say? It's everything.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's lopsided to like Kushner fall if she were to like collapse.
That could work. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's tier rank this episode here. As always, we have hot shit, full bouquet, love that journey for me, you, David, and shit out of luck. Stuart, where are you thinking of putting this one?
Top tier, number one, hot shit.
Yeah.
Like, no questions, I don't think. And if you disagree, I'll fight you. This is 100%
perfect.
the best episode of the season thus far. I'd even wager it's one of the best episodes of the whole series so far. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think... Gosh, I wish if Patrick was better in this it would reach like top tier status for me personally.
Yeah.
Because like I think the thing is the Moira Johnny storyline is 10 out of 10 no notes. I think like the robbery storyline and the Ted and Alexis stuff is like great. It's not incredible best thing ever. But like, obviously it doesn't matter because the Moira and Johnny stuff is just so good. And Catherine O'Hara is just on one the entire time. So yeah, I agree. Hot shit. It has to be. It's so fun. I mean, the time that we have taken to talk about this episode just proves how incredibly funny it is. So I agree. Hot shit is where it belongs.
Yeah, although we did take a 5-minute charcuterie break, so let's deduct that from
you know what? If someone, everyone needs to take a 5-minute charcuterie break at some point in their life. It's just necessary. If you don't want to talk about charcuterie boards, what are you doing here? Truly, on this earth, not even just in this podcast.
Get out!
If you don't like meats and cheeses, what's wrong with you?
I banned Erin from the pod last week. I'll ban the rest of you.
We're not afraid to slam down the ban hammer, okay? We'll do it.
So dumb.
Stuart, anything else on this episode of Schitt's Creek?
Not that I can think of. I think we've covered it fairly extensively. We've probably missed some stuff, but I think this is actually going to be an episode that I might go back and rewatch sometime. Like
I've only watched it 3 times this week, so there's room for more, I think.
Incredible. Twice. Go back for a third.
Do you want to know what season 5, episode 3 is titled?
Absolutely, yes.
The Plant.
As in, like green and leafy, or like the mole, like the plant, like the,
or like a sewage plant.
Something. Sewage plant, yeah.
It's like 3 different plants. It could be.
I hope it's not that. Maybe it could be because it could be like some town council stuff. I wouldn't mind seeing the town council. I do kind of miss a bit more Bob, and certainly miss more Ronnie. Like, also, haven't seen Ronnie in a while, so yeah.
Can we also just briefly touch on the video that you sent me of Dustin Milligan doing some impressions?
Oh, so good, right? I it's one of those weird things where I saw a video and I clicked it and I was like, am I going to run the risk of spoilers? I don't care, because it's Dustin Milligan doing impressions of the cast. And his Alexis is really good. His Eugene Levy is really good as well.
Yeah, his Eugene Levy is great. But the most important thing that we saw in the video is that he references, he's like, oh, I got to do a Bob jog.
Yeah, he does.
So it's canon.
It's a thing, people. It's a thing.
Get on board or get out. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I'll join you in getting out.
Yeah. So next week we'll talk about The Plant, season 5, episode 3. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. Listen, in your 5-star review, you can say that Stuart looks like someone who would wear thimbles. We'll still read it on the podcast, okay? And we won't ban you as long as you give us 5 stars. That's the requirement. So just do it. Just give us 5 stars. We appreciate it.
I reluctantly agree.
And we'll be back next week with season 5, episode 3. So until then, everyone, warmest regards.
And best wishes.